a rhythm. This is working to check if your collection's there and if you supple. Because to make a circle, it's really easy. Those corners, they just kind of like go like that, right? So if you're more thinking of a square half and half halt and get them to kind of go like this and then to trot on, it's setting them up to go into that nice trot out like that, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay? That's okay. Yeah, and think, if you're doing one kick, he's going to fly. I don't want to see that nagging with your feet. Like, you saw I kicked him once and he like was like going to canter. Like, that's the feeling that you need to have. Super. And another thing that's nice about the square exercise, it doesn't let you hit the wall because you kind of have to be half halting on those two reins. And if he's hitting the wall, that means that he's not even on two reins and he's going through your outside rein. Good. Yep, go. Okay. You're going to say half halt and give. Yes. Already thinking about your corner.
Not too far.
So again, there's a bit off the bit. So anytime he feels he's off the bit, just do a little half halt, a little bring back and give. So you can think about shortening your reins a bit and having them in front of you, not at the saddle. Because we use that as a bit of a balancing method too. So really think about standing in your stirrups.
Standing in my stirrup?
Like to have your heels down. You have to stretch. You're okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and I'm going to get you to do a little more trot. So when you half halt and go. Yeah. Shoulders together. Super. Think about your half halt. Whoa. Whoa. I want to see a bigger half halt. Whoa. And go. Good. And go. Yep. Okay. So we really got to prepare before those corners, okay? So if you look at your hands and your reins, they're in your crotch. So I don't want them there. You're going to shorten your reins and just have them a bit in front of you, okay?
I'm on 3 though.
That's okay. So then you're going to give with your hands and not wiggle, not seesaw. If we're going to ask for the head down, it's going to be 2 even reins.
Okay.
There you go. Super.
I feel today if I have all these stops, so I'm doing it way too much.
No, it's because you're nagging with your legs.
Oh.
So when you're going to trot, you kick and trot. If you keep going like this, then you're asking for the half halt. He's like, oh my God, like walk, like I don't know. So one half halt, and when you take your leg off to go forward, that's an aid to go forward. And you have to give with your hands as well. Half halt and give with your whole body. And think forward, okay? Whoa, and give. Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. Even when you're posting diagonal, yeah. And then whoa again. Whoa, on 2 reins, a little inside if you need it. And give. So you got to remember to give quickly because that was kind of like a downward, like slower, slower, slower. Nice trot there. Yep. Inside bend, inside leg. And go forward. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes. And again. Whoa. Pop. Okay, so whoa. And give.
Wow, he's tough today.
We got it. When you're doing your half halt, it's just like last time. It's like a half a second. That's why it's a half halt. Because it's not a full halt. We're half halting. So it's like hold, give. Not like hold, 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 give. You know what I mean? And it's not, yeah, and give. And again, whoa. Inside rein, give. Yeah, it's like way faster than you think. Good job. Okay, and whoa right now. Whoa, and give. Yeah, and then a little inside bend and inside leg. Making sure that he can flex this way. Whoa, and give. Yes. There you go. And again, already. Whoa, and give.
He doesn't really whoa though.
It's not making him like walk, right? Like we're just slowing the gait and making the hind legs speed up. Okay. Good, and give. And go forward. There you go. Okay, and again, whoa for a second. Whoa. Oh. And yeah. Okay, we're going to change direction. going to get you to shorten your reins and put your shoulders together, heels down. Trot on. No, yeah. No, don't bend them to it. You bend them inside leg. Bend them to the left and your right. Yes. Again, bend it. Yeah. Good. Hold that until we give. Yes. And again already, you know what's going to do it? Yeah, give. Good. There you go. And again, so half hold, a bit of that. Yes, and give already. Super. Now 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, half halt, a bit of bend, and give. And already you know what's going to happen, so what do? Yeah, and give already. Yeah. Okay, so that's a bit dramatic, so we're not going to do it quite that hard. Yeah. And think when you're bending him and using that inside leg, your shoulders are together. If he's bending down, you don't come out of the tap. You sit up and hold against him. Yeah, and then go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and already bend, inside leg, and give. And thinking about bending, when we're bending, we're bringing that arm more to your thigh, not to your stomach. There you go. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So even after you half halt, you're going to go right back into that 1, 2, 1, 2 trot. Half halt. Whoa. Bend already. Yeah. Okay, now like a half halt. Whoa. And give. Good. And again, whoa. And give. And when you do that, you can do a touch of inside bend. And then give, and then when you're going, it's that 1, 2, 1, 2 trot. Good job. Yeah, and you already know exactly. And give, you know what's coming. So you got to prepare. Yes, and give. And yeah. And give. Good job. There you go. Bit of inside bend and give. That's too much, Ray. Like a little touch. Yeah, and give. Super riding there. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to do a walk transition. When you're ready. And you know what's going to come here. So even in the walk, you know what to do. Inside leg, inside bend. Reins are too long. Yeah. There you go. Step down in your stirrups. Don't nag every walking step. If he stops, you kick him once. Super walk there. Okay, so when you're ready, you're going to pick up the canter. So what's happening in the trot, you already know what's going to happen in the canter, right? Especially through that corner. So I want you preparing for that corner, like at the corner after C. Like even before he's even thinking about it, you need to be thinking about it. So he doesn't even put his head up for a millisecond. So you're going to have that inside leg, that little bit of inside bend. And make sure your reins are nice and short. And remember with this transition, we don't let him pull us out of the tap, right? So you're really going to sit up. Think like beautiful. Think of Edward Gall. Think of your grandson sitting on the dog. That's how you're going to look. Perfect. Super riding here. Really well. Good. Nice walk there. Nice with your position. Good. And give with your hands. Yes. Okay, and shorten your reins a bit. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Canter on and give with your hands. You can't canter if you don't give. Yeah. Okay. Prepare. Inside leg, inside bend, and give. Awesome. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got to give with your hands. That's way too much bend and way too much holding for too long. So keep cantering. Give. Yes. Give. Sit in your seat, shoulders together. Yeah. Give. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. When that happens, we organize the trot and go to the canter. Super. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's okay. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Down to the trot. Just organize the trot. Inside bend. Shorten your reins. Good. And give. Super there. Good. And then when you're ready, you go into your upwards. You sit for 4 strides and then you canter. Even on 2 reins when you're going to ask. More cadence to the trot. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yes. Bit of inside bend and after your canter. Yeah. And give with your hands. Yes. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, buddy. There you go. And follow with your hands. Shoulders together. Arms out. To give. Yes. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And when you're ready, we'll do the downward transition. Super canter there. Awesome. Whoa. Super. And organize the trot. Half halt. And then go forward. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Too slow. Let's go. Yes. There you go. Super riding, Sylvie. Good. Yeah, and see, when you kind of check in before, it's so much less dramatic here. Good job. Super trot there. And follow with your hands. Yeah. I know it's hard because he feels like he's getting heavy, but you gotta give before he does. Good job. There you go. Awesome riding. Okay, and when you're ready, you'll do a beautiful walk transition. Yep, and don't let him look at this corner or anything. And you're gonna go across and change direction. Nice active walk. Super. Good. And can you give forward with his hands? Yeah. Good job. Great riding. Is that every time we could be asking 1,000 things, but I never want to see you asking. You know what I mean? It becomes that super discreet. Yeah. Yeah, so you know here inside left. Yes. There you go. Okay, there. If you ever spooks, you have the answer. That's the key. Okay, and when you're ready, we can just pick up the canter from the walk. So you're going to really get your walk organized. Nice short range. Shoulders together and think of that nice forward walk. Because basically when he's walking, it's the same 1, 2, 3, 4 in the walk that it is to the canter. So technically, they should just be able to step into the canter. You know what I mean? Super walk there. Big up. Yes. And give with your hands. Awesome. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go, go, go. Yes. Good job, Sylvie. Nice in your position in your legs there. Yep. Give. Yeah. Okay, a little bit of inside bend. Yeah, and give. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go. Super. Yes, and give and go. Awesome riding. Super canter. Good with your hands. I love seeing that you're giving. Okay, and when you're ready, you're going to do that's okay. Yeah, you're going to do a perfect downward transition to trot. Whoa. Super. Whoa. Think, yes, and half halt, and then 1, 2, 1, 2. Good riding. Wow, that was perfect. Okay, you're gonna trot on, super trot, and then you're gonna pick up the canter again from the trot. So you'll sit in your seat 4 or 5 strides, get organized. So maybe even half halt before you ask for the canter transition, and make sure he's listening. Yeah. Yep. That's good. Good riding. And so hold 2 reins into that transition. Yep. And canter. A little more trot. Yeah. Good job. That's okay. That's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick and give with your hands. Go. Yes. Awesome. That was great giving with your hands. Super riding. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoulders together and hands forward. Hands forward. Yes. Good. And then when you're ready again, trot transition. It's going to be when, yes, good riding. Super riding there. You got to fight through that sometimes, and you just did that. Good job. Good. Half halt. Whoa. Let me see you come back. 1. Whoa. Good. And give. And then 1, 2. 1, 2. Super trot there. So now I want you to shorten your reins. And you're going to circle once. And then we're going to go across the diagonal, okay? And we're going to do a bit of length and trot. So trot on here.
Bit up.
Keep trotting. Keep trotting. Go. Shorten your reins. And you're going to half halt through this corner and get them really listening. Not too dramatic with that inside. Yep. And then when you come to M here, you're going to go across the diagonal. And think about making your post really big. Holding with 2 hands. And go. 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 Good riding. Inside right, inside right. Yeah. Okay, then half halt and organize. Whoa. And then come across the diagonal again. Look over there. And think half halt. Whoa for 1 second. And then give and go. Trot. Go. Good. And then half halt before the corner. Good job. Super trot there. Give with your hand. Beautiful trot. Little inside bend. Yes. Shoulders together. Yes. Awesome with your position, Sylvie. Okay, you're going to do a perfect walk transition. Make sure he's really listening. Half halt first if you need to. And when you ask to walk, he's going to walk. Whoa. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. So we're going to do a beautiful upward transition because what happened there, you prepared properly and then you didn't really listen, so then you kind of had to go like that. So in the walk, it's like the halt. You know how easy the halts are now that you can almost just like think it with your body? Yeah. That's what I want that transition to be like. So you're going to be trotting and you're going to be thinking, okay, collective. And our natural go-to is to hold with the reins. I want you to hold with your thighs. Okay? And think, whoa, whoa, walk. It's that seamless transition I'm looking for. So when you're ready, you'll pick up your trot. Yes, good riding. That was a nice transition. Make sure to give with your hands. Yes. And then half halt a bit. Shoulders together. Shorten your reins if you need to so you don't go so far back in the tack when you ask to come back. Yeah. Okay, super trot. And then when you're ready, you're just going to think walk. Heels down, thighs in. 2 reins. Better. Give with your hands. Super, Sylvie. That was awesome. So every transition now that you do, even when I'm not here, I want you thinking about that. However you can do it to make it seamless. Yes. Good riding. Now with 1 kick he went forward. That's what I want. I want him sharp. I want him listening. Super trot. Walk, shoulders together. Don't be give with your hands.
Oh,
yeah.
that's what I can do.
Good job. That's okay though. Good riding. Good. See that 1 kick and he's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah, got a march. That's what I want. Good riding. So keep going all the way up to the other side. When you're ready, I'll give us the front again. 2 reins. And good. Now, we're going to start bending to the side. Stop there, Sylvie. Again, again. Yeah. And then when you're ready. Super trot. Half halt first though. Walk and give. And a little inside bend. So what a trick of that is when we do give, even in the walk, because your hands are here and your contact is still tight, you can go like this a little bit, so that in the walk, if you feel like he's gonna pop his head up, just do that tiny bit of inside. Even though you're giving, it's that little, like you always have that little check. Just because I know that feeling where it's like, oh, he feels great, I'm gonna give the raise, and then it's like, oh, his head, he's like, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So even in the walk here, we can just practice it in the walk where, yeah. Okay, inside, yeah. So now, give with your hands. That's it. There you go.
So I'm allowed to do this.
As long as your hands are forward. If your hand is back here and you're going like this, no. But if it's up here, you can use that and go like this. Okay, it's not going like this, Sylvie. You're not going like this. It's like literally you're going to grip with your hand. Okay? Okay?
So my hand stays here and I just
Yep.
down with my hand.
Yeah, and like give.
So I literally am the second piece of
Good. I love it. I love it. I love it.
the second and the third.
And if you watch the video, you'll see that sometimes it's even off a bit on the second hole. You know what I mean? So, good. Super trot there, super riding. Nice with your shoulders, down with your heels. Yes. And when you're ready, yeah, give. Yeah, give forward. Super.
Not a big walk though.
Good job. There. That's a beautiful walk there. Yep. So you gotta hold your reins there so he doesn't pop his head up. Yeah, and give. Super riding. And when you're ready, shoulders together, heels down, onto reins. Whoa. Whoa. And give there. Give. Yes, Sylvie. Good job. And that's the thing. It's like the halts, right? It takes practice. It takes training on him too, because every time we're asking from the trot to walk, he's like, oh, we're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or like, oh, I
yeah,
got
he
this.
does give that feeling.
Like-
I'm down, I can stretch down.
And so that's where it's just like the halt. Now you can halt. You can literally like telepathically think halt, and he's like, oh, halt with my head down. So that will come in all the transitions. It's the same thing though, just the repetition of it. And being hard on yourself when you're riding. It's hard to do, but it's good that you guys have each other too for that, right? So super riding. I know that was tougher in the trot, but it's good to have to work through that. It's great.
No, that's good. I need to do more trot. I find the canter
Easier.
not that it's perfect, but I find it easier for me.
And it's easier to sit. It's an easier gait. You know what I mean? It totally is. I totally agree.
And I can change the tempo. Like I can
Totally.
go canter,
Quicker,
canter on the spot.
Yeah.
The trot, I find I've only got one speed.
Right. And that's where the half halts come in handy. But it's good to practice it in the canter because you understand the concept of it.
Yeah.
It's just the practice of
I
it.
find it hard to apply in the trot.
Yeah.
Plus your body's going like this. I'm trying to
Totally.
do soft elbow, soft elbow,
I know.
soft elbow.
Yeah.
But I'm going up and down, so it is affecting my hand.
Yeah.
It shouldn't, but it
No.
does.
But it's all practice, honestly. You know what I mean? It's all muscle memory. And too, sometimes you practice and you have like two really like shit rides.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Also
Oh.
come together, yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? So I don't worry about it too much. Like it will come. And it's like, and two, something, it's like one little way that someone says something or the way that something happens, it's like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like it all
I
just
find
takes
in the
time.
canter, I have, like you say, my
You're
leg
more
is
balanced.
good.
You're much more
I'm so
balanced.
like my leg is right where
You're
I want it.
separating everything.
I feel like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And on the trot, I feel it's like, ooh,
Totally. And so that's all about balance. And it's just,
like my leg is staying still, but
Yeah.
in the wrong place.
yeah. Yeah.
So-
And that's where it's good and to practice those transitions, to have to kind of do a downward or a collected, not totally depending on your hands, to use more of your thigh and to really sit like this, because then when you're using this part, it puts your leg in the right place and you're not gripping.
Right.
Because if you have to stretch your leg down to use your thigh to really like go like that, like that's a pure half halt when you're
Yeah.
like sucking like that, right? So
Yeah. And see your leg on, yeah,
And
your
there
leg
you go.
automatically goes in the right
Exactly.
place. If you're doing this, your leg's
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
If you're squeezing with your
Yeah.
thigh,
Yeah.
your leg goes back.
it naturally swings. But doing that in the trot is
Yeah.
like so hard.
Yeah,
you know?
and it gets you
And-
here if your
And
muscles
with
aren't.
him, if he's not over the back, his trot is uncomfortable in the sense that like he's like kind of packing you around like this. Where that's where if we can get him over the back in the posting trot, do a bit of canter. If you come back to the sitting trot, he'll be looser in the back,
Yeah.
you'll be looser in the
Yeah.
leg, and it's a bit easier to work in the trot when you're kind of
Yeah.
more in the motion.
Now, what's your feeling when you're trotting to him? What's your feeling? Are you sitting on the cheek or the seat, the bone?
This is like hard to explain, but like always with me, I feel like I'm wrapping around, so it's like just below my butt cheek is kind of where I like sit
Here?
in and hold.
Here?
Yeah. And you kind
Yeah,
of
me
hold.
too, kind of.
You kind of hold
Yeah.
there, yeah. And then it's like all right here. You go like hold yourself in there.
Yeah, because I find the only way I can do it comfortably with him is
Yeah.
to actually go back more and
Right.
do it like this.
Right.
I'm very comfortable.
Yeah.
If I try to stay like this, I'm like this.
Right.
So I'm not gripping.
So what happens is because when we gut back like this, you can water ski a bit and hold with your knee. When you're sitting normally, your knee can't clench to hold you.
That's true.
So what it is basically you have to just deal with the shitty bounce for a while,
Yeah.
and it's like your leg will start to stretch. Really, your core
do
to
it
your
without
shoulders.
stirrup.
Yeah, that really
Yeah.
does help.
Because I find
It
for the
is.
sitting trot, my stirrup should be here.
And the best thing, we could do it once, is if I have him on a lunge line with a
Yeah.
whip, so you don't need to worry and just
Yeah.
work on your position. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Instead of you having to like mess
Yeah.
around with all that, you can just, exactly.
Yeah.
That would make it a bit
Just
easier
like
to get the
gripping.
feeling. And so you
Yeah.
don't necessarily need to point your toe right out because that'll make your knee pinch. So you're just
Okay.
gonna hold and hang your legs and have your heels down, okay?
And hang there. Okay.
Yeah.
Stop fighting, babe. Okay. So I'm just trying to practice
Yep.
the grip now, not the sitting trot.
And so that's where in your body it helps too, even in all the movements, because you're kind of going to be hugging a bit in the walk, and when you take your leg off, you should go forward, right?
Oh, okay.
Because he thinks you're going to take your leg off and kick him. Because if you're constantly kind of just hugging through here, not using your spur, super.
Hey, look at that walk.
Go like this.
Yeah. Good, good. Get hands together. You want me to do that? Yeah. There you go. And yeah, so then put shoulders together, abs activated. Think about doing 100 sit-ups.
What abs?
Okay, good job. Super. Yeah, and so now think collect. And think collect, not in your hands. Just, think it in your body. Shoulders together. Good job. Okay, good job. And that's all. Like
I'll
that.
try
But
that.
in the trot is such a. Oh my God, I know. And especially if they aren't like couches, it's hard.
Yeah.
So that's maybe something we can do. Is I'll maybe put